Hello everyone, and welcome back to Silent Hill 3. This will be the last part that we do, excluding, of course, my usual follow-up video talking about my thoughts on the game overall, and what the next game is going to be. In any case, Valtiel really hates nurses, and we have to do a whole ton of backtracking to get to where we need to go next. Apparently the game developers decided that they needed to pad out the game just a little bit, and with that in mind, we have to go all the way back to the start of the church to get the very last tarot card, and then run all the way back again afterwards to get to the actual puzzle that the tarot card goes to. Now you might be wondering to yourselves, if you know my videos content very well, you usually cut out all backtracking, so what are we doing watching this? Well, the reasoning behind that is that the game actually changes a bit on the way back. Not in any significant way, but in minor ways which I feel like showing off. For instance, those guys are there, they're very annoying. This room is a pain in the ass, because it's got these guys in the room, you can't see what you're doing, and those doors are incredibly hard to open. You can believe me if you want to, or don't, it's up to you. But that room is very hard. That door is notorious. I died in one of the test runs because the game decided that I was not pressing the open door button at the right location, and it got me killed. And I came over here for I don't know what reason. But as you're noticing, of course, in the last room and in this room, the fire, or I guess not really fire, I guess it's blood thing. The blood distortion stuff is happening to a lot of the rooms now, which, as I understand it, is a clear sign that the birth of the god is about to happen. Another thing that kind of tells us the birth of the god's going to happen, Valtiel is freaking everywhere. Look at him. Just crawling around in his little ducks. What are you doing over here, man? What are you doing with your life? Yeah, go back. Go back in your corner, dude. Anyway. We could go over there and fight that insane cancer if we wanted to. However, it's much better to come here and get this flash from the past. This is a room that looks very familiar to any Silent Hill, if not Silent Hill 1 aficionados. This is Alessa's classroom, and as Heather Molos's, this used to be her chair in the class. And thank God she doesn't have to be in this class anymore, because as this desktop shows, the kids in her class were not very good, were not very kind to her. It's very hard to read this unless you know what you're looking at, but Heather is kind enough to let us know. We got Go Home there, Drop Dead, Thief. Apparently I thought she stole something. I don't know. But yeah, we get another last little look at Heather Alessa / Cheryl having multiple personality disorder. And we get this nice book here from a guy who we've seen in the series before, but you might not know from where. Yep, here's a letter. There's a girl named Alessa in my class. If your memory is any good, you may remember her. She's the one I said they called a witch. Most likely her mother is abusing her. I've never seen her come in without some sort of scrape or bruise. Her expression is pitifully dark for a 6-year-old. Something like this may not be so uncommon. Rather than coming up with pointless ideas, it's best just to watch and wait. But isn't there something I can do to help? I'm considering consulting a lawyer, but I do have my reservations. That's why I thought I'd ask you, my friend, for your opinion first. K. Gordon. And once again, if you know Silent Hill 1 very well, you'll remember that name. I believe K. Gordon was the house Harry went to get the keys to the school. See, my own memory is very faulty about this. I think that's right. Any case, I love this picture. This is a picture of a wolf. It looks like a dog, but it says wolf and everything, so yeah. Great smart-ass remarks from Heather here. And if you'll notice, we're entering and exiting from the same hallway, but we have going this way bypasses the insane cancer, which is good because we don't want him to even wake up. Another thing I have to point out, I'm not going to show you, but that's something to point out. There's a room across the hall from this room. That room is full of the guys who are the tiny missionaries. I can't remember their real name for some reason, but that room's just full of them, and there's nothing in that room except for them, so don't go there. That's my only advice. Don't go there. I guess they have an idea box at the church. You can drop in ideas for how to improve the church. People are starting to voice their dissatisfaction about Father Vincent using the organization's money for his own personal benefit. I've also heard rumors that Father Vincent has been extorting donations from some followers. Is he really the right person for such a position? I'm in no place to deny all he's done to make the organization grow. Even though we believe in God, if there were some sort of gathering, shouldn't we be valued not for our limited talents or our talkativeness, but for the depth of our faith? LS. No idea who LS is. Sorry. Oh, okay. Come on, radio. There we go. It's a tape deck here. It looks perfectly usable. Yep. And we, if you remember, you probably haven't because I know it's been very long. I apologize for that. But we found a cassette tape earlier. There's no label, but the tab's been removed. It might be worth checking out. I don't know if you guys remember cassette tapes at all. But all cassette tapes had a tab in the corner of them. I think it was in the corner if I remember it correctly. And if you took that out, that meant that you could not record over the tape anymore. So somebody wanted to save whatever was recorded on this. So let's give it a listen.
Do you know about what happened here 17 years ago? You've been here a long time. You must have heard some details.
A group of pagans, blinded by earthly desires, spit in the very face of God. They tried to use the Seal of Metatron to prevent God's awakening. But God drove the unbelievers away and threw them into the abyss. But due to their wickedness, God was unable to be born properly. And so, she has slumbered ever since in the womb of the Holy Mother until the time of the awakening. That's all that I know.
That's it, huh? Well, thanks.
Father Vincent, I heard that the Holy Mother has been found. Is it true?
Alessa has been found? Did Claudia say that?
Yes.
Then it must be true. Her sight rarely fails her.
Bless the Lord.
Maybe it's because of her great faith. But I could never be like her. I wouldn't want to.
Nor I. The truth is, Sister Claudia frightens me a little.
Well now, let's both show our faith by forgetting about this little talk, okay?
Yes, but does that mean this land will finally be the home of eternal paradise?
If God wills it, my sister. If God wills it.
Vincent's a pretty smooth guy there. A few things to note about that. The church has an incredibly interesting thought about what actually happened in the events of Silent Hill 1. Not terribly accurate. But also, on top of that, what else was I wanting to talk about? Apparently Claudia, as Father Vincent mentioned, has the sight. So Claudia has some special powers, just like Alessa does. That's important to note for later. Anyway, we have the High Priestess Tarot card, the last tarot card we needed. But there's some other things to look at here, such as this. If I can... There we go. We appear to have found Claudia Wolf's diary. Yep, thank you for pointing that out, Heather. I said it already. Thank you. But let's go do a little bit of snooping here. As it turns out, this diary is from when she was a child. November 10th. She didn't die then. She was born. I knew that for a fact. But then, why haven't I found her yet? They were supposed to need her power to build paradise for the happiness of the people. She was supposed to be reborn for that. I'd really like to see her. November 14th. Read the Book of Praise. I want to thank Father for lending me such an invaluable book. I found what I'd been searching for in there, how to awaken God, but it's much too cruel. Will I be able to pull it off when I see her? November 16th. I was free all day, so I read A Modern History of Refugees and Young Slaves' Child Exploitation. I don't want to be a mere bystander in this world. I can't do anything now, though, and that's what's hard. A little bit of insight into Claudia's character. And this birthday card's a little bit more insight. Heather seems to know exactly what it is without even having to read it. And it says, to little Claudia, happy 6th birthday. I love you as if you were my real sister. Here's to you. So, this is apparently a birthday card from Alessa to Claudia. And we see a little bit of her motivations. Claudia, while she is a horrible person still, because you have to be a horrible person to do horrible things, she believes that all the horrible things that she's doing are means towards a greater good, towards the ushering of paradise. So, I guess you're supposed to sympathize with her, but no. Anyway, from here on out, from here back to the puzzle door, where we be pure backtracking. So I will cut that out for your benefit, because you're gonna see me get killed probably, or some stupid crap like that. You don't need to see that. Okay, everyone, we are back. Quite embarrassed. Lenny died once. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's move on to the future here. In any case, as I said, we have all tarot cards now, so we can open that door. However, let's go back over this riddle to kind of interpret what it means, because I don't think I did that last time. I think I just read it. Anyway, we have 5 tarot cards, so we can open the door. First thing to notice is that there is something in every row, but you can't have 3 of something in a row. So any row in the grid cannot have more than 2 things in it. First thing to remember, the upside down man is under the ground, and his right and left is blank. So the upside down man is the hanged man, and he's at the bottom. The moon is up above the sky, full or crescent, floating high, and it's above the crown. So the crown is the fool, I believe. Anyway, the excellency is praying up to the last thing that's possibly there. So that's the evil eye. And the last thing of the last thing of this puzzle is to tell you that the evil eye, the hateful thing in the night, is not on the right but the left side. So that tells you everything you need to know. Put it all together, and you've got a solved puzzle. Oh, wrong button. But I don't think I read these cards either. You have the High Priestess card. Didn't this card mean something like genuine belief? Just like her. It's to be found in Claudia's room. Obviously her is Claudia. The Hanged Man, as you can see, is upside down. This was in that mortgage place. It's such a beautiful card. The Moon card, found this in the archives. I don't think it's a especially good card. I don't know anything about tarot cards, unfortunately, or else I could tell you. This was in my old room, in a hospital room. What did this one mean again? Yep, the Fool. Found this in the chapel. Is this a real tarot card, though? I actually don't think that is a tarot card. But as I said, I don't know tarot cards, so I cannot be sure. Last thing that I have the bulletproof vest equipped. But you have to use the cards here. Anyway, as we said, the Iron Knight is up in the sky, being stared at by the High Priestess. The moon is also up in the sky, above the crown. of the Fool, and the Hanged Man is all by himself in the underground. Door open. Now, this hallway is ominous as shit. It has the blood effects going on. It has this horrifyingly disturbing soundtrack. But nothing bad happens here. As far as I know, you can't die. I'm turned around. I don't know which way I'm walking now. Okay, this is progress. You can't die here. There is no danger. This is just incredibly creepy music. And a fan, because of course there's a fan in Silent Hill. Why wouldn't there be? In any case, end of the game, everyone.
What do I want? Well, for the two of you to die, that would be nice. Then I could relax.
When did you stop believing in God? God lives. Just look around you.
But I do believe in her. In my own way. I fear her, and I adore her. But I haven't lost my mind like you. You think that this is the work of God? Isn't this all nothing more than your own personal nightmare? Just like Alessa 17 years ago? If this really is the work of God, then I'd say she has lousy taste.
You mock God? Traitor. You will go to hell.
Not that again! Who do you think you are, claiming to know God's will?
Go home, Vincent.
Home. This church is my home. I built it with my power. The power of money that you view with such scorn. Although I admit that this atrocious scenery is all yours.
If you continue to get in my way,
Then you kill me? Well, the guest of honor has arrived. Let's get this party started. Heather, go ahead and kill this crazy bitch. This demon who claims to speak for God. The time has come. You can kill her now.
you'll go to hell!
What did you do?
Nothing important.
You're not going to run? I guess this is the end.
No, the beginning. As Vincent said, the time has come. Alessa, I'm saddened that you didn't agree to this on your own. But I thank you for nurturing God with all the hate in your heart. It's time for mankind to be released from the shackles of sin which bind them.
But a God born from hatred can never create a perfect paradise.
Happy people can be so cruel. Is it so hard to believe that sympathy could be born out of pain and suffering? Why do you reject God's mercy? Why do you cling to this corrupt world? You know that only God can save us.
And save you too? Happy ending? I'd rather go to hell.
No, I don't expect to be saved. And that's fine. Alessa, my dearest. For the pain that I've caused you, I deserve no mercy. even if it was to save mankind. It was too deep a sin. It was hubris for me to try to hasten the day of her arrival. Sacrifices were made. And those are my sins.
If you feel so guilty about it, why don't you go to hell? Heather, use the seal.
Vincent? The Seal of Metatron?
Now your stupid dream is over.
Oh, that's just a piece of junk. What do you think you can do with that? Do you really think it can kill God? I'm sorry to see you fell for my father's foolishness.
What?
You're pathetic. But God loves even you. Now, Alessa, there's nowhere else to run. Just accept it, Alessa. The pain will disappear. I've been waiting so long for this. Even as a child, I knew I would see the coming of this day. I knew I would be a witness to it. Judgment Day. Alessa?
Shut your stinking mouth, bitch!
Yeah, okay. So the god attempted to be born, but apparently Heather forced that power down. If you sit there and just do nothing for long enough, the god ends up being born and you lose the game. Yep. Anyway, let's examine this pendant because it has one of this. Has one of this. What am I? Has this inside it. There's a jewel inside, like a little red tablet. When I asked my dad what it was, he said just a lucky charm. But then he told me to take good care of it and never take it off. I wonder why I feel sick inside when I look at it. Yeah, so I think this was a little bit of an insurance policy from Harry. He decided that there was always the chance that the god would try to be reborn through Heather. And he gave her this little emergency thing just in case that happened. Although you think if that was the case, he would have potentially mentioned that to her at some point. But, whatever.
What are you doing?
Dad.
She is nearly here. Alessa, what have you done?
Looks like God didn't make it. Stop!
God is...
Claudia!
Lessa, you cannot kill God. I will birth God. If you can't do it, Lessa, I will.
Claudia! Claudia!
Well, with that, it is now time for us to emulate the great hero, James Sunderland, and jump into a hole that we can't possibly survive the fall. But that doesn't matter.
Can't be dead. I was gonna kill you. This is God?
Yes, that is God, apparently. The God fight's fairly straightforward. I'll probably take a lot of damage for this fight, but that's okay. Basically what you do is that. You shoot it with a pistol, then she falls down, and then when she falls down you shoot her with a different gun, and that's just kind of where it goes. And avoid those flame jets that she shoots out after she comes back up. Anyway, let's talk about other things, because this fight's incredibly uninteresting. So as you saw at the beginning of the cutscene when Heather fell down here, good old Voltiel was down here with it, dragged Claudia down here, and he tucked a new baby god into a veil, because he's a nice guy. Also, did I mention it already? I forget. I can't remember. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, guys. Because apparently, from just wild conjecture on my part and the parts of others that I've read, Claudia was able to birth the god because she had some measure of the power that Alessa had. However, being that she's not as strong as Alessa, the god came out more as a half-formed thing. Also, the god does look remarkably like Alessa. And the thought for that, at least, I'm not sure if it's accurate, but the thought I've seen other people say, and I believe, is that Claudia kind of shaped the way that oh, she's already doing 2 flames now. Okay. Whenever the guy starts shooting 2 flames every time, that means it's almost dead. Anyway, my theory is that this god figure looks like Alessa because Claudia kind of shaped it that way. In her eyes, Alessa is this divine figure and is in fact the embodiment of the Holy Mother to her, and therefore God. So she ended up making her god look like Alessa. That's just my thought. Also, another thing to talk about, Claudia called the Seal of Metatron just a piece of junk. However, if you remember, the Seal of Metatron is what Alessa herself was using to seal away the god in Silent Hill 1. The thought there is that the Seal of Metatron itself has no power, but it was Alessa's power itself that was enabling the Seal of Metatron to have the effect it was having. It's not that the seal itself has any power. It was just that Alessa thought that it had power, and because of that, that caused it to actually have real power, even though it shouldn't have. And people latched onto that, like Claudia's father, Leonard, and they just kind of ran with it. I guess they figured, hey, the Holy Mother used it to stop the god. I think I should be able to too. But unfortunately for them, that's not how that works. I told you this fight was boring, didn't I? This is a lovely, lovely sequence of events that's happening right now. Me constantly switching weapons to try and maximize damage. You'll notice I'm staying far back when she's up like that. The reasoning for it is if you get too close, you'll get hit with those claw swipes that you've been seeing me getting hit by, and they do a fair amount of damage. So it's typically not encouraged that you do that. However, if you notice, her fire also does a fair amount of damage. And you may be asking yourself, why am I switching to the pistol constantly? Well, as far as I know, the shotgun cannot hit her while she's standing up. If she's standing up, it just doesn't do anything. It just shoots around her feet and doesn't actually hit her. I don't know if that's just bad luck on my part for the scatter of the shotgun, or if that's just the way it happens. But that's just been my experience thus far. Also, you'll notice I'm blowing through healing items because if she hits you 2 or 3 times, you die. So I don't want that to happen. But yeah, as you see, I'm already back in the red. I just got hit by fire just once. If I was playing this more carefully, I would stay back here and shoot. It wastes more shotgun shells, but make sure I can dodge the fire. But, you know, whatever. I've got tons of healing items I'm never going to use. This is the last fight of the game. So, there's no need to be careful if I can just pump out more damage more quickly. Unfortunately, the delay between shooting the gun and being able to move again is so great that if you're too close to her, you just can't. You just can't move away in time before the fire gets you. So typically you're supposed to be a nice little person and stay back here outside of that inner circle. And I see I still got hit. It just, sometimes it doesn't hit you, sometimes it does. I seriously, I seriously don't have anything else to talk about. Yeah, fire bad, I guess. Is anyone a fan of getting caught on fire? No. Me neither. I don't care for it myself. I'm not sure why they decided at the end of the game to make the last boss a bullet sponge. This definitely was not the case in Silent Hill 2. And I don't recall it being quite this much of a hassle in Silent Hill 1 either. That the last boss had this much health. Anyway, if you want to play it really, really safe, you can just... The pistol allows you to side strafe while shooting. So the pistol is this ultra super safe way to do it. You can also, if you just really want to, use melee weapons. I don't advise it. Anyway, fight over.
Is that the end? I guess it's time to roll the credits. You're still alive.
Heather, what Heather?
Oh. Just a joke.
You've got terrible
I'm
taste.
sorry.
Heather, did
You don't have to call me that. I'm not hiding anymore.
You want me to use your real name? What was it again?
Cheryl. The name my father gave me.
You gonna let your hair color go back too?
I don't know. Don't you think blondes have more fun?
And that, everyone, was the ending. Not the best thing ever, I agree. However, it's alright. That's the normal ending that you'll get on your first playthrough, and on subsequent playthroughs if you don't do certain crazy things. The other ending that you can get standard on New Game Plus is the Possessed ending. Also, just to throw this out here, this theme song here is the absolute worst ending credits song of any game ever. Yeah, I'm not listening to any more of that. Sorry to skip the credits there. If you guys want the credits, I mean, you can look them up anywhere. Anywhere, literally. Like, just go to Google and look them up. Anyway. As I was saying, the other ending is the Possessed ending. And the way that works is the Possessed ending, if I remember the events correctly, it has the opening, the ending cinematic opens with Douglas being dead on a bench from stab wounds, and Heather's like, "Oh God, what happened?" And she looks down at her hand, and she has a bloody knife in her hand. So the implication is that the god took her over and made her kill Douglas, and that the god is going to continue to take her over, or maybe it was Alessa. I don't know. Some evil force inside her is going to take her over and making her do evil things. And then there's the standard, well, not standard, but the typical, sure, aliens ending. If you have the super secret Heather hyper beam attack, which is her anime costume and special beam cannon attack thing that she gets. Very, very silly stuff. Anyway, as you'll see, I didn't do super awesome with my clear time and all that, but I did kill all. Whoa! Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Leonard wasn't good, but anyway, yeah. Anyway, that's it. I'll give my final thoughts in a follow-up video to this. I thank you all for sticking with me and watching this. I apologize that it took so long, but next time, hopefully that won't be the case. Hopefully I'll have more time to record in the future. Anyway, yeah, that's all. Bye.